Welcome to your free English lesson. This series will focus on spelling rules. There are 4 intended learning outcomes for this lesson. 1. We are learning to identify R-controlled vowels. 2. We are learning about the function of the silent final E. 3. We are learning the sounds that R-controlled vowels make. 4. We are learning when to use a silent final E after an R-controlled vowel. The silent final E after an R-controlled vowel plays a more subtle and often misunderstood role in English spelling. We know that the silent final E commonly indicates that the vowel sound should mostly be pronounced as long. In an R-controlled vowel, the R already controls the vowel, so the silent final E does not signal the typical long vowel sound. The silent final E serves structural, historical, and morphological functions. There is a slight change in the vowel quality, which will be explored further in this lesson. R-controlled vowels behave differently. An R-controlled vowel occurs when a vowel is followed by the letter R, which alters the vowel's sound. It is neither long nor short. In the word car, the A does not make the long or short sounds A and A. The R alters the sound to R. In the word her, the E does not make the long or short sounds E and E. The R alters the sound to In the word bird, the I does not make the long or short sounds I and I. The R alters the sound to In the word for, the O does not make the long or short sound O and O. The R alters the sound to or. In the word turn, the U does not make the long or short sounds U and A. The R alters the sound to Because the vowel sound is already controlled by R, the silent final E cannot perform its usual vowel lengthening role. Any silent final E following an R-controlled vowel has a different function. The abbreviation VS is short for verses. In this context, it is used to compare 2 items. These are words with R-controlled vowels without the silent final E, and these words are words with the R-controlled vowel with the silent final E. Far, fair, her, here, fur, fire, for, cur, cure. The structural role of the silent final E. The silent final E after an R-controlled vowel marks a stable ending. Its role is to create orthographic stability. The word ends in a single complete syllable. In some words, the vowel quality changes only slightly. Listen and compare. For, store, explore, nor. The or sound with the silent final E is slightly longer. Distinguishing homophones and near homophones. The silent final E often functions as a lexical marker to differentiate words that would otherwise be spelled identically. For example, her, here. In here, the silent final E helps to distinguish the word from her. The role of the silent final E in this example is both semantic and grammatical. The silent final E in morphology, preserving base forms. When words with R-controlled vowels take suffixes, the silent final E plays a morphological, organising role. It preserves the recognisability of the base word. Remember, when a vowel suffix is added to the end of a word, the silent final E is dropped. These words are R-controlled vowel base words with the silent final E. And these words have the R-controlled vowel with a vowel suffix, which means the silent final E has been dropped. Care, caring, pure, purity, secure, security, stare, stared, tire, tiring. The silent final E signals that the word has a stable base. It also guides predictable spelling changes when suffixes are added. The historical influence of the silent final E. Many examples of the silent final E after an R-controlled vowel are from historical remnants of other languages, where the E was pronounced. In Old English words, the silent final E was pronounced as a separate syllable in words like here, there, where, were, care, fair, sure, and more. Over time, the pronunciation has changed, but the spelling remained to preserve meaning and word relationships. Interaction with pronunciation. While the silent final E does not create a long vowel after an R-controlled vowel, it can slightly affect the vowel quality. In some accents, it adds a glide or a diphthong. Some examples include fire, pure, tire, and cure. This is heavily dialect dependent. Now the question can be asked, how do you know when to write a silent final E after an R-controlled vowel? This cannot be decided by sound-based rules. It is lexical, not phonetic. It marks meaning, grammar, or word identity. It must be learned with the word. When deciding whether to write a silent final E after an R-controlled vowel, ask, is this a word I already know? Has a silent final E? If the answer is yes, write it. Am I distinguishing it from another word with the same sound? If the answer is yes, the silent final E signals meaning. Is this a base word with a known word family? If the answer is yes, use the established base spelling. Am I trying to make the vowel long? If the answer is yes, stop. That rule does not apply after an R-controlled vowel. There is no generative spelling rule that tells you to add a silent final E after an R-controlled vowel. In these pairs, the silent final E exists to keep the two words separate in writing. It marks a grammatical difference. Her is a possessive pronoun. Here is an adverb of place. In these pairs, the silent final E exists to keep the two words separate in writing. It signals a directional meaning. For is a preposition. For is a prefix meaning front. In these pairs, the silent final E exists to keep the two words separate in writing. It differentiates a function word from a content word. Or is a conjunction. Or is a metal-bearing rock. In these pairs, the silent final E exists to keep the two words separate in writing. Care, historically, had a different vowel. Car is a vehicle. Care means attention and concern. In these pairs, the silent final E exists to keep the two words separate in writing. It marks a separate lexical item. Far is an adverb or adjective. Fare is food or travel cost. In these pairs, the silent final E exists to keep the two words separate in writing. Sire retains the historical French spelling. Sir is a title. Sire is the male parent of an animal. In these pairs, the silent final E exists to keep the two words separate in writing. It anchors the base word. Cur is a despicable person. Cure is a healing. In these pairs, the silent final E exists to keep the two words separate in writing. It anchors the base word. Purr is an interjection, a cat sound. It is commonly spelled with two letter R's. Pure is an adjective. In these pairs, the silent final E exists to keep the two words separate in writing. It anchors the base word. Fir is a type of tree. Fire is burning flames. The only words ending with the or sound without the silent final E are the conjunctions or and nor, as well as the preposition for. All other words with the or sound at the end of the word are written with a silent final E. The sound is slightly longer or stretched out. These words all belong in the O-R-E or word family. Or, more, before, sure, store, score, core, explore, restore, ignore, adore, implore, war, bore. Thank you for watching this video. Watch it as many times as you need to master the intended learning outcomes. I hope that the content helped you to learn more about the use of a silent final E after an R-controlled vowel. Please like and subscribe for more lessons. There is a lot to learn, so don't give up. Keep believing in yourself and you will learn. See you next time. Bye.